Welcome back, everybody, to episode 16 of The Rat Hole. As always, I'm Jeff, joined by Diz, and we are always cheesed to meet you. It's been, we had a week off just for the Janies to come in and clean out the rat hole, but we're back. Cheesed to be here as always, and today we have another great episode for you guys because today we are joined by Groot from DeFi for Dummies. What's going on, dude? How's it going?
Good man, just hanging out there. Sorry if you hear my son in the background. He just came home and now I don't know what he's listening to, but he's watching something on his tablet. So if you hear background noise, it's him, not me. I swear.
Nice. Yeah, so we decided to have Groot on this week because he runs this like super informative Twitter space. And I think a lot of people would benefit, especially from us coming from Solana over to Hyperliquid. And some people getting their feet wet with like protocols and everything else. Um, a lot more people getting into leverage trading, stuff like that. Um, should definitely find his find his profile, check that out, try to hop in those spaces. And they're usually an hour long, 2 hours long, Groot.
Yeah, so I can't give myself 100% of the credit because I definitely do have a wonderful co-host. Her name is Empress. So she definitely keeps me on track and is slightly smarter than me. I would just put slightly. I ask more of the dumber questions than her. But yeah, like if you go to my Twitter page, we have I have the community up top, just for like all of like the spaces that we do for DeFi for Dummies, and then we also teamed up with Beef.hype for all of his interviews for Hyper Meets as well. So we're kind of calling it like the Hyperliquid library, so people have like a one-stop shop to go in there and like check out like all either interviews from Beef or like all of our spaces that we've done.
Yeah, and that's what I saw before. Is I can't remember what the other podcast that Empress is on. If you can remind me.
She's on a bunch of them. So she
Yeah, I know she's on
was
like
all things
two or
crypto
three.
for a while there. But she also is a co-host with me for THC, which is Tiny Hyper Chat. We do those on Fridays. She also is in like liquid launches spaces that are on Wednesdays. I think right now she might actually be on a rub space. Yeah, she actually is right now doing a rub space with Rubify, which is like a market making platform that is coming to um, Hyperliquid, and I'm pretty sure they're doing a huge announcement today too. So I'll have to re-listen to that because I'm pretty sure it's recorded.
Yeah, and that's kind of the hard part with Hyperliquid is everybody seems to be, especially with the new protocols coming around. There's a lot of people that are in to get points, in to get airdrops, in to get first moving, want to be this, that, and the other for whatever protocol comes out. Um,
Yeah.
I, I think
Uh,
it's just overwhelming for a lot of people that are like just getting their feet wet in space too.
oh yeah, 100%. Like there are like a lot of like new protocols coming out. I'd swear there's probably a new protocol a week that comes out. But there's some really good like staple ones that have been around for a minute. Like I know Rub initially was a meme coin, and now they're actually like they've been building in the background, right? Obviously building in the shadows, and they're finally able to like launch whatever they've been building, right? Like they're gonna pretty sure that they're doing it this week or next week. But yeah, I'd have to agree. There's a bunch of new stuff that's coming out there that's trying to draw attention to farm, obviously our hype.
Yeah, and I think that's especially after everything with the stable week where everybody was trying to figure out what Circle was doing. PayPal got thrown into mix. I think we're sitting at a point where
Yeah.
so many people have uh, heard about hype because of everything happening, but also don't know like what's going on.
Yeah, we've had like I think it was either last week or the week before. There was a governance vote on who would get the Hyperliquid stablecoin ticker, which was USDH. We do have like stable coins through like other protocols or something like that, but this was just like the actual ticker that like the foundation, the Hyperliquid Foundation or the Hyperliquid founders created. And there was a massive vote. And obviously that drew a lot of attention because we had like Paxios coming here that pretty much said like, oh, PayPal would immediately onboard, and then we had some like other um, protocols and platforms that came together and actually won it, which was Native Markets.
Yeah,
I don't
I
really know much just like about Native Markets. I was Not gonna lie, I was kind of more hoping for Paxios, but hey, you know what? Like whatever draws attention to Hyperliquid, I'm here for.
Yeah, and that's what I think a lot of people didn't understand was there was a lot of stuff that was they had to pitch their own liquidity for the votes. So it's like
Hmm.
these are actually people. I think the counts got close to what 37 million or some. I can't even remember the number now.
Yeah, it was insane because a lot of what ended up happening is like initially like these people when Hyperliquid came, obviously there was a massive airdrop, and then those tokens, if you stake it on Hyperliquid Core, it helps you get like lower fees for trading perks and spot tokens and stuff like that. So people were like re-delegating their height to properly align to like what their views were, which was really cool. And then also the foundation itself, like kind of stepped out saying like, hey, we're not going to vote. Like this is up to the community, which I thought was even better. So they didn't really have a sway in, who was going where, kind of a thing.
Yeah, and that's what I think is like the big thing, right? Like no, I mean, I guess we're calling Hyperliquid formerly a perps dex, I guess. It's like
Yeah.
nobody else has really like been a foundation or been a group of people like with that dex or anything that I've give that much delegation to its users. I think a lot of people that were like of size on the votes were all just like kind of waiting and like didn't realize that they had that much sway until about like the second half of the week of it.
Yeah, which I mean was really cool just to see like just how the community bonded together and was like really hearing out like what people were saying, and like what their proposals were, right? And people were really dissecting them. And then on top of that, like I really do have to give credit both to Native Markets and Paxios because those guys have so much liquidity. I mean, they technically could have bought the votes, but they definitely didn't. They allowed like the total community to like actually vote with their hype, which was good.
Yeah, because the only thing I didn't know, and I'm kind of in the same boat of you, is I don't know how native Axos was like in the ecosystem in the first place.
So I know Native Markets founder is very Hyperliquid aligned. Like I think he came from Hyperliquid or he's been in Hyperliquid. I think Paxios was like the outsider coming in, and been, promising the world. But I think a lot of people really wanted Paxios just because it did give us immediate access to like PayPal and Venmo and Cash App and Robinhood, that kind of a thing. So more Web two, like it just straight off the bat.
Like everybody kind of wanted the scalability, just like of having
Yes.
PayPal introduced in, but I don't know what we like, especially with having
Actually,
such a bearish time now. Do you think it'd be different if Hyperliquid got Paxos instead of Native Markets?
No, I think honestly, this is the best time for builders, right? Like the best time for builders is obviously the build and the bear to be prepared for the bull, you know. So I think would it have been nice? Obviously, yes. But Paxios already said that they were going to come regardless if they won or not. So I'm just looking forward to seeing whatever they build out. And I know right now USDH is currently minting.
Yeah, that's. I want to say that's before the 5th. They'll be done minting USDH. I
Yeah.
can't remember. Um, yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good for like once stables are on and everybody kind of like sees or like, oh yeah, like all of the stuff actually came to a head and like people are doing something. And the Hyperliquid Foundation has been doing everything. I mean, I won't say everything, just to not like call attention to it, but they've been doing a lot of things right. Um,
Oh yeah, the foundation itself, they do a lot. Like I think well, I want to say a lot. Like they definitely based off of the people who are actually currently meeting them because right now there's a huge like hackathon or like there's a Hyperliquid event in Asia.
yeah,
And just based off of the people who are meeting some of these guys, at least like Jeff and them, they see the timeline, right? Like they see what people are posting and they see like the builders who are out there, which I think is kind of interesting. They might not personally like talk to anybody like in Hyperliquid, but they definitely like they see what's going on, which I think is you really rarely hear that about founders, right? In other protocols or just other chains itself,
yeah.
right?
That's what I was gonna say about chains. Is like I think unfortunately for like we are Solana native usually is like
Mhm.
I think there's a lot of people like, oh yeah, there's all this like attention economy that we've been used to of like, oh, Solana doing this, Solana ETFs, like government lockdown happens. Like there's a lot of stuff that's kind of holding up like that kind of progress for like a chain like Solana. And like Hyperliquid is just like full momentum in what they're doing. Builders are just busy, like they don't they don't have anything stopping them basically. Like they've intended to be DeFi the whole time, and they don't really care if a government shutdown happens.
Yeah, no, I mean, like that's the best part about, I guess, like with Hyperliquid. I mean, the big claim obviously is, we want to house all finance in Hyperliquid. So, like this government shutdown, I don't think is really going to impact us. It might impact like price action, that kind of thing, but I don't think it's really going to impact anybody the way anybody moves around in the ecosystem or anything like that.
Yeah, and my whole point was I think people are going to like flock to Hyperliquid because of that non-movement, right? Like nothing happening. Like, oh man, all this stuff is going on. Like Solana's being held on hold for their ETFs. Like everybody's disrupted from like trying to get on those longs for Solana, and it's like, oh well, you could just be trading perps on Hyperliquid right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, they Phantom integrated Hyperliquid into the wallet. So if you're going to do any perp trading or anything like that, you could definitely do it right off of Phantom. So if you're, I don't know if that's what you use for Sol, right? That's what I used when I was in the trenches and whatnot on Solana.
Yeah, it's mostly what people use.
Yeah. So that's definitely something you could. This is all in air quotes. You just can't see me, obviously. But like farm Hyperliquid through those perps. I've heard, there might be obviously a potential season 3. So if you actually look at the white paper of Hyperliquid, they do mention like a potential another airdrop. It's like 33% or 30% or something like that will be given to the community as some type of reward, right? So it's all speculation, right? So, and you know how people love to speculate on airdrops.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is everybody's hoping it's gonna be another millions and millions airdrop, but I don't.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't
No,
think so either.
not at all. No, no. I mean, like at this point, like, I was definitely, um, oh, so I forgot. I should give you a little bit of background about myself. So, I definitely came from Solana. So first and foremost, that was like where I started. I started with a project called Fearless Bull Clubs over there. Still in there. I love them. They're like definitely what helped me, navigate the horrible, bear that we had. Like I rode Solana from 210 down to $8. So I was
Oof,
definitely there with everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
a
I
hero.
didn't buy, obviously, but I held the whole way down and round tripped it back up, whatever I had. But eventually, at Feelers Bulls, we started doing like they're called syndicates. So it's like we kind of you get like partial pieces of like certain NFTs. And what we did is we did it on Bitcoin, so like ordinals. So like we minted Node Monkeys and a couple other projects, and like each one got like their own share. I forget what the hell it's called, but we call it syndicates.
Yeah,
But
I've never done that before.
yeah, it's actually, oh man, that's where a lot of people made like stupid money by holding Node Monkeys all the way up to the top off, right? Like those bad boys almost went to a full Bitcoin. And it was like 4 bulls to 1 share. So it was pretty cool. So some people walked out with like 20K on
Yeah,
that trade, and the initial buy-in was like 2 SOL. And I think at the time it was like $80 a SOL or something like that. So,
yeah.
but anyway, so I went over to Ordinals just because I was kind of I cannot meme coin at all. Like shit coins to me, I get wrecked every single time. So I saw like the writing on the wall with Solana, like that's where all pretty much the majority of the mind share was going. So I said, okay, F it, I'm gonna go to Ordinals. I jumped over there, was a CM for Bitcoin Whales for a while, and then I became a mod for E9, and then unfortunately, things happened with the founders' wallets and stuff like that. So I end up pretty much losing my ass on that project. And then my buddy was talking to me about Hyperliquid, and asked me like, "Hey man, like this is about the TGE. Like, do you want to jump in? Do you want to jump in?" And I was like, "Sure." Like, I think I had like 300 or maybe like $500 to port over from Bitcoin into it, and so
Yeah,
bought a bunch at
what was hype at when you came over to
I
Hyperliquid?
was at $3.
God. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So I and the part that like you guys are saying nice, 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 right? But I only did it with $500.
Yeah.
And so I
I
did
mean,
five
that's
hundred
pretty good.
dollars. Yeah. So I did 500 at 3. So I bought at 3, 15, 20, 35, and then just recently at 55. Obviously that was a couple weeks ago or something like that. But I definitely full ported everything I had into Hyperliquid down in those like 15 to 20s.
Nice.
I wanted this to be like my conviction play. And like my mindset was I have a better chance of Hyperliquid 2xing than Bitcoin, right?
Oh yeah,
Like
like for sure.
that's so that's kind of like what I thought, right? Like, okay, if I put everything in here, I can at least 2x my portfolio faster than if I just left it at Bitcoin, it did nothing, right?
Well, I
So
mean, that depends on the points that you are in Bitcoin too. Like where you have Bitcoins like past 70K, 80K.
oh yeah.
Oh,
This was like when Bitcoin was, I think was hovering around like that. We'll see, like 89 to 95 range,
oh
right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
think is when like Hyperliquid came out. Maybe even more than that. But yeah. So I ported over and I haven't looked back, man. Like the community over there is just it's different. I can't really explain. I mean, I could probably try to explain it, but yeah, it's definitely different.
Yeah, I definitely noticed too because I think, especially after I've been getting a lot more like adjusted to being on Hyperliquid Twitter versus just like Solana Twitter. It's like
Mhm.
there's just so many people that are like, "Hey, we built this whole thing," and then like they just don't post for 2 weeks, and then they come back, "Hey, here's an update on that thing," and that's just like all
Yeah,
they do. That's
yeah.
like nobody's posting every day. Everyone's like posting about whatever like NFT project like hypers or whatever is going on at the time. But then like outside of that, like they're like, oh, we're just busy building. Like there's no what's the tickers, there's no what's the
Yeah.
protocol. People are farming their airdrops, farming their points.
Oh,
Uh,
there's those talk there's talks of like what to farm, what to do this, that kind of thing, right? A lot of the reason why there's like that kind of talk right now is because there has been some like found, again, air quotes you can't see, but like foundational platforms that started as soon as TGE happened, right? For like Hyperliquid, and obviously all that went into EVM. And then people are supplying and doing like all like the liquidity pools and stuff like that, right? So people are farming the points that way. But none of these protocols have TGE yet, right? So you can still farm some of this and that. So like there is that kind of talk, but I feel like a lot more of just the conversation itself now is just more of like how can everybody win, right? Like that's just what it feels like. People are just saying like, hey, this is what I'm doing and this is how I'm winning, right?
yeah, and that's I can't remember. I recently saw somebody that's been farming some protocol, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like I'm up just like hundreds of thousands of points on this protocol," and I was like, "Oh, like," and it's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't move the side. I just fucking rotated out all of." He didn't move. He didn't do it with size. He rotated it with whatever he had.
Yeah, I can't. Well, the thing is obviously everybody's point system is built differently, right? Like there's some that are like super hard just to get 1 point, and then there's others that like, oh, here's 1,000 points. Well, it's like, okay, what does that equate to, right?
Yeah, like is that a cent a
Kind of
point or
thing.
is that $1 a point?
Yeah. So exactly. So I know like there's one protocol right now that is they're saying they're ending their point season, which is Kinetic, which is like the biggest platform. This is the one that has like $1.6 billion TVL or something like that. And that, yes, that was with a B, billion.
Yeah, that's
Um,
nice.
yeah. So like that's supposed to be coming, we'll say Q4. And then there's a couple other protocols that people are kind of speculating um, that might also happen. I'll say like end of October, beginning of November.
Yeah, I saw. Oh, it was Farmrick. Farmrick is the person I saw. They were farming Kinetic.
Yeah,
Saying,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
getting
Okay.
like
Yeah.
800,000 points a week, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Well, so that they're using Pendle, right? And they're pretty much buying their points. So they're putting it into these like YT pools or PT pools, something like that. I get those two terms mixed up. But they're pretty much just buying their points. So you just deposit a crap ton of hype and they just give you points, right? And you're just hoping that those points will be more than the hype that you lost,
Yeah,
right?
then what you put in, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I know some people they're gonna make some pretty good cheddar.
Yeah. Now you're getting it. Now you're getting it.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
embracing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
He gets it. He gets it.
He's embracing his inner rat, even though he's a cat.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But that's like what we tell everybody. I think is like the big issue with all these like farming points, this farming points that. It's like I feel that there's people that don't have size that like don't get to benefit from like participating, right? Like oh yes, I put in take your $500 from Bitcoin. Like at
Mhm.
this point, it's like oh, there's people that come in with that kind of size, and like what do they do, right? Do they like they can't keep up with these
Dude,
people that are putting hundreds
so
of millions in?
there's actually a couple like so if you're looking to like farm hyperliquid, I would say like 500 to $1,000, you could do some damage, like some good some and good make some good points. Specifically within two protocols, you could do some good like farming.
I think that's wait, what two protocols? I think I
So
heard that
you have
Felix I think is the most entry level one, but I don't know if that's true.
so I personally would I don't do Felix just because it you have to use VPN and I'm just one less button I have to click the better.
Nice.
But
He's like
Felix
you,
is
Jeff.
good, right? Yeah. But like so the initial like we'll say that you had $1,000, right? So what you do is you take $500 because that's like the minimum deposit, and you'd go to a protocol called Liminal. It's a delta neutral platform, and what that does is it just farms unit, which is what is supposed to be like the next biggest airdrop, like next to Hyperliquid, is what people are
Hmm.
speculating. That's what
How do you spell that?
Yeah,
so
liminal
liminal.
money is the
Yeah, yeah,
X at.
yeah. Yep. You got to have $500, and then it's just delta neutral. It pretty much does all the perp trading and stuff like that. You want to make sure that you're in institutional mode. So if anybody needs help with that or anything like that, feel free to sneak into my DMs, or I'll try to do it like talk about it on one of my spaces or something like that if you mention it.
Yeah,
But
because I think I've seen
uh,
that farm too. I think I've seen
yeah.
the article about it.
hmm Oh yeah, I could always find the article too and shoot it over to you guys. But yeah, you want to be in institutional mode. It's $500, and it does everything for you. Every now and then, you just obviously want to click some buttons to make it rebalance it and force it to do something to farm it even extra. And that's it. And then the other 500, what you could do is you can deposit it into a lending platform called HyperFi. And they actually just came out with like a credit card where you can kind of like get your own credit card on your uh, iPhone or like whatever device, right? Like I have an iPhone, and they do like weekly points, and then like on that credit card, it's 5 million points that are distributed out to the people who have credit cards, compared to who just has their money on the platform itself,
Yeah.
which is like 1 million points a week. So what you could do is you could put the money on the protocol, right? And you're farming that million a week. And then if you get the credit card, now you're farming it in another aspect, right? And then those guys aren't going to TGE for God knows how long, but that's just one of the main protocols I use right now. And then I'm farming super heavy.
Yeah, I think
And those are the easiest for beginners, right?
yeah,
For
like
me
Oh, yeah.
personally, I know Diz is like he's very deep into Hyperliquid. I have just put my toes in the water, so to speak.
Mhm. Those would be like so like liminal is literally you perk trade like to get to open up I'm trying to figure out like an easier way to explain it. So
yeah,
you
because like I
open
said,
up
I've
saying
seen
that
the
you do like
articles.
a
That's
hundred.
it.
Yeah. So yeah. So like there, what you have to do is you have to artificially create like $100,000 in volume, which is super easy if you like perp trade on Bitcoin because you can 40x that. So like a couple of clicks of going in and out of Bitcoin, you can get your 100,000 volume, and then it opens up institutional mode for Liminal. And what that does is it solidifies that like when they farm unit for you. When the airdrop or whatever happens, it goes to your wallet, not to the liminal wallet then that they then distribute out to everybody else. Does that make sense?
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, you kind of skip a
Yeah.
step. So
Yeah.
instead of it getting distributed from like the main thing with everybody, you get a small portion of it distributed first. So you make money
Yeah.
on like your operations of your own money first.
Yeah. You're pretty much kicking out the middleman at that point.
And it's
Um and the APYs on it is actually pretty killer. And you pretty much farm like what it does is it swaps in and out of like Solana and out of Bitcoin right there on the protocol using unit. I mean it just goes back and forth for you. It's like AI, all that kind of stuff. It's actually really cool. Um,
yeah,
and then
I think the guy that I do perps with, he's doing the pair trading. Was it pair? I think it's pair protocol, something
I
like that.
think yeah. I think they do something very similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's farming mostly everything on there, and he's been
Yeah.
like, dude, he's got so many fucking points. It's obnoxious.
Yeah. I'm probably more on the side of I just want to sit there and do nothing. Like I just want to put my money somewhere and then just literally do nothing at this point because
Yeah.
I've wrecked myself by doing the NFTs on on ordinals. I've wrecked myself doing meme coins on Solana. Like at this point, if I would have just sat there and did nothing, I would have 3x what I have right now, right?
Yeah, especially with like all the protocols and stuff.
Yeah. So but yeah, so like those two would probably be the easiest. If you don't have that much liquidity, there's actually a like another protocol. It's not even a protocol. What you do is you just go to the website and you plug in a dollar amount, whatever you want to port over, and it will the AI will actually separate everything out for you and tells you like where to put it. So let's say like, oh, deposit this amount of money in this protocol, this amount in this, and it tells you like how to maximize your portfolio for farming and also for APY.
Yeah, and I think that's going to change when USDH comes out, right? I think yield's going to be a lot better. Where I think a lot of people can make money there.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know because I mean like there's like a huge talk about like why like you obviously have USDTO that you can immediately use right now on Core. You have USDC. You're gonna have USDH. You also have a couple of these other protocols that have their own like LST stablecoins or whatever. So it's kind of like it's the wild wild west of who's gonna do what, right? And who's gonna win at this point.
Yeah, it's going to be size too. I think I mean, it's going to be who has the biggest size of the stables and those yields.
hmm hmm And the thing, like a lot of like, I necessarily like wouldn't just look at the yields themselves and then be like, oh, I'm gonna deposit because there's like 1,000%, right? Like if there's 1,000% or if there's something like really weird, it's probably I would almost step away from it, right? Like that's just too good to be true. Then it's probably too good to be true, right?
Yeah, which I think is going to be like the initial problem, right? Like everything's going to look very bloated from Genesis.
What was that?
Like when everything gets made, I think it's going to have like inflated numbers from like creation, right?
I mean, maybe I don't know. Like when I look at some of the APYs on some of their protocols, they're pretty much standard across the board. So,
What are the APYs?
like it just depends like what like here I actually have, I'm right here on my laptop so I can tell you. Like which one like what asset are you thinking?
Let's say Solana.
So with Solana, what you would want to do is you'd want to go to the thing called unit, right? Like that's what I was telling you about, which is like what you would be farming. And right now with Solana, you could it's 1.75%.
Okay.
So and that would be in still obviously in Solana, but you're just it's unit Solana. Which I know people what they do is they'll deposit like the Solana in there or like Bitcoin, and then they'll go and borrow hype. And so what they're doing is they're pretty much longing hype by doing that, right?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main thing is you get to this point where there's going to be a lot of stable yields where it might end up like 5%, 10%. So
Yeah, like there are like so like right now I'm looking at it like USDC there's 12%, USDTO is 11.25%. Um, so I mean, I think the most that I've seen it was like at the 20s. And it's just variable, obviously, right? Like it fluctuates back and forth.
Yeah, I think everybody's gonna, and that's like out trading yourself, right?
What was that again? I missed what you were trying to say. I apologize.
Yeah, I think most people realize they're gonna be like out trading themselves, right? Where like, oh, if I just got 12%, they would have been better off than buying memes or buying
Exactly.
NFTs or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. That's exactly like that. That's the part where I'm like, like again, that's why I'm just putting my money into DeFi and just letting it do it itself. Obviously, I did take out some of the money to play around with NFTs, hence why I'm repping like my PFP is a tiny hypercat.
Yeah,
And I do kind of do some of like the flip trading because obviously you got to have some type of a dose of dopamine, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you
You
want to get
you,
that
you gotta
hit.
hope that your NFT doubles, right? Every
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So I still have like those funds, but I told myself like, oh, I'm only going to allocate X amount of dollars, right, for that, and then not dip into like my actual DeFi stuff, which I've been actually pretty good at not dipping into. So I'm pretty proud of myself for that one.
Yeah, Hyperliquid is like the actual place where people are telling you to diversify what you're doing. Like you don't have to fucking
Mhm.
full port into everything. Like
Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of the stuff is yeah. I mean, you can farm everything you want and try to max farm, but I usually tell people pick two or three protocols that you like and that you enjoy. Put your money in it, let your money work for itself, and then that's it, right? And then just vibe. I mean, that's the best part, right?
yeah,
Like
just
you're
be
just
just be
vibing.
happy to be here. Yeah, like
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that like Hyperliquid is still in its beta form, right? So it's not like 100% built out. So like there's still so much room for growth and everything like that that I think people are not even thinking about right now.
and it's pretty easy to be the growth too. As I think that's kind of what like we build a lot of small stuff amongst ourselves and like don't particularly have an infra per se, but like we make stuff that's like, oh, we made a website, we made a game, etc., etc. So we like doing stuff.
Mhm.
I think
I know
Hyperliquid's
that's like a
definitely is a place where you get benefited for doing stuff.
100%. Like that's the part. Like we think we are actually talking about it this morning in one of our spaces. Was like people are like, okay, what do we do? Because like we're just sitting here just vibing on X and like talking in spaces just about random things, but like there's no games, right? Like where are the games? Where's like poker? Where's this and that, right? So
See, but that's what all the people from Solana are saying. Like you don't have to gamble, right?
yeah, but you don't have to gamble. We just want games, right? Like we want to do stuff. So like that's the part that like I think a lot of protocols are starting to realize, right? Like that they need something to keep people attentive, right? And wanting to come back and look at their stuff and that kind of a thing. So I feel like a couple of these other protocols are definitely diversifying. So like I know there's another NFT project that I believe they announced it in one of the interviews that they were going to literally are creating a game just for people to hang out with and chill. So um, I'm pretty stoked on that.
Yeah, we just gotta. So we made a fucking Club Penguin with mice. We made Mouse Cafe. We should just fucking introduce them to Mouse Cafe and just have everyone on Hyperliquid play Mouse Cafe.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I
like
mean
I mean,
that would be interesting. Like I know today we were talking about like someone was literally just saying like I just need someone to bet me if Bitcoin's gonna go up or down. That's it.
nice.
Like they're like I just need some type of a dopamine hit, and he's like I don't want to go perp trade. He's like because I'm bored. Like I've been doing that too long. I want something else. I want something different.
The degens that they say they're not degens, right? That's like the joke. We all come from Solana, like, oh yeah, Solana's so bad, but then like we just go to other chains and we're like, man, we also just want to gamble here. What do we even
Yeah.
do?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. There are like a couple of like you can gamble, right? Like obviously you can perp trade and you can go do the meme coins if you want. We do have like the meme coin launcher, like it's similar. But like it's just that's not what Hyperliquid is about. Like it's weird. Like I don't know, maybe as you see like you get more of like the algorithm of Hyperliquid, you'll see that it's more of like a um I would say like upper middle class mindset. I don't know how to explain that, right? Like I don't want to be
Yeah.
like
Like
dogging on
it
anybody,
is
right?
definitely
Like,
it's a
does that
builder's
make
chain.
sense though?
Yeah,
Like,
it's a builder's
yeah,
chain.
like I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm not saying like we're super high class or anything like that, right? Like I'm just saying like it's just different, right? Like you will be able to tell like some of these people have like FU money. Obviously, clearly they're buying $500,000 NFTs. Like it's nothing,
Yeah, just fucking
you
buying
know?
hypers for fun. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was watching it yesterday, the price action, and this guy literally swept like 10 of them at like 2,000 hype per. And I was like, dude, like where the hell did you get 20,000 hype kind of a thing? Like that's insane.
Yeah, and they're just like, oh man, how do I make more money? How do I farm a protocol?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, like whatever. Then you see some of these people who are getting like hundreds of thousands, like when they obviously speculate like how much the points are going to be worth and whatnot, you know? They're like, oh, I'm gonna get like $100,000 airdrop. And I'm like, you know what? Like, go pack sand.
yeah, like go punch sand in the street. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go eat some cheese.
Yeah. Oh God. But yeah, go
Oh,
mint
God,
some cheese.
always. Yeah, exactly. So, do you
That's
guys
what
have
I
any
think.
questions or anything?
Yeah, Jeff, you have any questions about protocols? Like I said, I
Oh, yeah,
still
I
know
could
some
totally,
stuff.
yeah. I could totally keep rambling.
I'm just kind of taking everything in because, like I said, I am just now dipping my toes into the waters.
Mhm,
My kind of trading style, for lack of a better term, I buy and hold shit, and I
okay.
like to stake shit. Before I was big on Solana memes, which it's not
Mhm,
even that many. It's mostly cheese. I'm a cheese maxi.
mhm,
Um, I was an ICP baggy, and the thing that I like the most about it, even to this day, is the staking protocol, which I've been getting close to 15% APY on,
mhm,
and it's slightly going up over time just because I'm reinvesting the dividends, right?
mhm.
That's just kind of my boomer TradFi trading style that I've brought over to crypto. So anything that I
Okay.
can find where I can just park my money and let it grow and work for me, I'm interested in.
Yeah, so like there's sorry, I just logged into a different thing if you heard that in the background, but like there's another protocol called Hyperbeat. And they like their APYs are 13, 11 to 13% on some of their like vaults and stuff like that. And what they do is they actually farm these protocols for you. So it's like a one-stop shop that you can just deposit your money in there, stake it, and that's it. And
Yeah,
then it'll
something like
farm
that
all
is
these
like
protocols for you.
what I'm
Yeah.
incredibly interested in.
Yeah. I would go to Hyperbeat then. Like seriously, like those that would be like your best bet, right? Like you literally deposit your hype, or you can deposit like a stable coin, which would be like USDO, obviously probably also USDH. Um, and you just let it sit there and do what it wants, right?
Yeah,
Like
I
Hyper
they
mean,
beat,
they'll
like BEAT, beat.
yeah. So it's if you type it into X, right, and you just type in
It has
Hyperbeat.
like a heart, like a pixel heart
Yep,
almost. Okay,
exactly.
got it.
Yeah. Those guys are actually super chill. If you go into like the Hyperliquid community that's on my X page too, there's a couple of interviews that we did, and then that also that Beef did. So if you actually want to like hear the founder and what they're talking about and stuff like that, I'd recommend listening to those for sure.
I definitely will check that out.
Yeah,
yeah, we're definitely the social people of crypto too. It's like we just like, oh man, are these people actually interesting people? No matter how like great their protocol or their project is, like
yeah,
if the vibes don't match, it doesn't matter, you know.
yeah. No, they're actually super chill. I think I was just kicking it on one of my spaces on Friday with Empress, and we were just shooting shit. And the founder came up and was like, "Oh, let me tell you about this." Like, because we were asking questions about the protocol, and we were trying to like figure out like what because they were seriously coming out with something every single day for like almost 2 weeks. It felt like. And then he came up and explained everything right there on the space. So
Uh,
again, that kind of like the hyperliquid way of being have like instant access to some of these founders is insane. Like they literally will hit you up immediately in Telegram, on X chats, or even in Discord. These guys are there to talk.
yeah, and that's what I think is like the best part about air quotes being early, right? Like people are like, oh, I wasn't here at $5, so I'm not early. I'm like, like there's still people that have to like build the mechanics of the chain so far. Like they're still around. Like you're still early.
Well, the thing is like I tell people all the time on spaces and stuff like that. Like these protocols, I don't know if you guys are into like American football, but like you know how like when like a wide receiver or like a quarterback gets signed, like
Mm.
they start the market off at this price, and then as each person signs, right, like it goes up in price, kind of a thing.
It's
So like
just
so
like
like
it perpetually is going up.
yeah, exactly. So like these protocols aren't going to, I don't feel like these protocols are TGing anytime soon because they know as soon as they do, that liquidity is going to get sucked out and move on to the next, right? Because everybody's going to try to buy more hype with it, and then they're going to use that liquidity to give to other people. You know what I mean? Um, so I just think it's just one of those things that people are willing to. Yeah, we have a point system. We're going to do this, but they want to make sure when they do finally TGE, it's going to be like pristine, right?
Yeah, like everything's got to be finished when it happens, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I think like Kinetic, I think is doing it so quickly. Um, First, I mean, they're it's 1.8 billion TVL, so like they can do it, right? Because they already have like the volume there. But they're also like a protocol that is supposed to help launch like the next update to Hyperliquid, which is like it's very complicated, and I haven't really figured it out.
Yeah,
But it's called HIP three.
I'm not familiar with
Yeah,
the kinetic stuff either.
yeah. So like they're like it's like their own like I want to say like perp dexes or whatever or something like that where you can trade your own equity coin. I don't know. It's something like super complicated. But like it is supposed to be like the huge next best thing for like TradFi. Where like actual like NASDAQ stock exchange companies, right? Like companies could come on to the blockchain and be completely compliant with the US government, which would be huge.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the weird thing about like the becoming of house of finance, right? Like just to draw back to like the mission statement. It's
Mhm,
like we have all these complaints now of like Circle minting more Solana, like all these ETFs, all these like centralized stuff with Bitcoin, where all these big players are in
mhm,
now. Um,
mhm.
and Hyperliquid's like sticking to that DeFi, but like if their mission is to like be compliant enough for all of these big industries to come in, where like like the money obviously follows. Like, are we
Oh,
only
yeah.
trying to be early to those to TradFi, or are we trying to be early to like TradFi after growth, or like what are we? What do you think? Like, do you think we as soon as the first fucking Wall Street business comes on, it's like we everybody cashes out?
There already has been a couple of Wall Street like businesses. It's called Hyperion or something like that. They're actually traded currently on like stock exchanges and stuff like that. They have a ticker and everything. As soon as they announced that they were going to start buying up Hyperliquid, like the token itself, they actually like almost 3 or 4x their stock by doing that.
Jesus.
It was nuts. Yeah. So we already are starting to see some of that come in, right? And obviously Robinhood, they were in the mix of getting like the USDH. They're also, obviously a publicly traded company. So like there are these companies already looking into coming to Hyperliquid, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and this is like the disclaimer of like why we're even talking about Hyperliquid, why we even came into Hyperliquid, why we even were interested in the first place. I was like, nobody has any of these like things to talk about Solana or Ethereum.
Mhm.
Like, and these all of these chains have been out for God feels like forever. Personally, like the Ethereum, like,
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
but
1,000% agree.
yeah, like I just don't think people realize. I'm like, oh man, like you're living on archaic chains by like trying to like hold out for Solana or hold out for Ethereum or like hope that some kind of infrastructure comes to Bitcoin where it's like it's gonna be a mainstay like adoptive thing. It's like you get like, oh no, Hyperliquid's doing all that, has done all that in about the what? I think it's 13 months, 14 months they've been around.
Yeah. I
It's
just
like
think that like you
scary.
yeah. Yeah, I just think like you need a place for like all these protocols, or not even protocols, but these stable coins, right? Like there's a bunch of talks of like governments coming out with their stable coins. You have like banks that are looking at creating their own stable coins, right? Like there's a bunch of these things and I feel like those um corporations or companies, right, are going to want to start utilizing some of these DeFi functions, right? Like, so like the rollback to like what I was talking about, like with the HyperFi credit card, my interest rate on it is 20%, right? But it's annually 20%. That's not a monthly one.
Wait,
So I
that's
get
nuts.
20%. Yeah, right. So when you think about your credit card, when you get your credit card, it's like, we'll say 20 to 30%, right? Like whatever. I don't know what your credit score is, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
and you have to pay that interest monthly. When you do this one, it's yearly. So what's like $2 on interest, right? And as long as you have like the liquidity there, like you don't have to pay it back. Like it's that's next to like zero interest, right? Like I mean, you have to pay it back eventually, but it's like it's not like you're like, oh shit, my interest is getting so high, I just maxed out my card,
yeah,
that
like
kind of a
monthly,
thing.
right?
Mhm.
Damn, what the
So
fuck?
like I know,
I might put my
yeah,
move my debt to fucking.
yeah.
It'd be
All right,
so
but that's
so
like
much easier.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was literally telling my wife about this not too long ago, like when I actually got my credit card, and I was like, hey, like I'm actually gonna start using this a lot more. Obviously because then I can farm the
My
points itself,
points, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, but the thing is like it's the interest on it. Like I think right now I have like $1,500 right now that it's on my credit card. Um, but I got it's like $3 a month is my interest on that or something like that. Because obviously it fluctuates, but like okay, in a year that's $36. We'll say $40 in interest. That's like nothing,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
right?
think like minimum payments, I think for
Yeah,
like my business credit card is like $40, like minimum.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing
Yeah.
is like now if you think about it even more so, like if you have like a business credit card, right, or like unfortunately my company said we couldn't use our personal cards anymore, but like I was going to start using it for like company expenses, right, like business expenses, and then just have my company repay me back. So then I'm like farming a crypto
And getting
protocol, right?
reimbursed.
Yeah, getting reimbursed for it, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So definitely like that's just the kind of things that like these institutions, right, like or these banks, you get like what, 2%, 1%
Yeah. Like I
on
said, you get
all this
1%
stuff,
points
right?
and then you have like 30% interest a month. It's
Yeah,
yeah, it's fucked.
exactly. And yeah, and so then if you actually do these other things, right, like you can get 13, 14, 15%, and you're just letting it sit there.
Yeah, see,
And then
we had the
yeah.
conversation before about the credit cards because we were talking about like what if these companies did like gift cards or not gift cards but like credit cards and instead of getting loyalty points you just got like fucking stock or like a Starbucks fucking crypto. Right?
It's a really good idea.
Yeah, and it's super
Yeah, it
nice.
is. He's all like, yes, please.
Well, I mean, like it would that would be one of those that's a catalyst right there
Yeah,
to
I
people who are not already in
Mhm.
because it's
Yeah.
just so easy.
It like it. I seriously like. I'm trying to. There's a couple other like platforms that I'm trying to link up with to kind of have a better, um, I guess like user experience when we do DeFi for Dummies, so that people can see the actual protocol as like we're talking about it. And I definitely want to redo like the whole HyperFi one because I think explaining like how to use their platform and like how to use like the credit card thing, I think will open up people's like they'll get the aha moment, like holy crap, this is the easiest thing, right?
yeah, and that's what I was about to say. Is like even if the interest is actually like crazy, like I think as a business and like having business licenses, you would make money just like oh yes, like I have an interest free credit card that doesn't have 30% a month. You very simply can make more money just being like crypto native.
100%. Yep. And there's a couple there's like another protocol called Wellspring. They're like the actual like bank. And what they do is they do like a bunch of like liquidity pools and stuff like that to kind of help build out like your APY for your checking account. So they have like their own checking account, but it's online, right? You can deposit stable coins into it, and it's like a 12% yield or something like that. So it's like almost like a high yield savings account kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what usually like when I got into crypto and everything. My dad used to stake alts, and that was his thing. He's like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, this is like we get this percent every year, 20%, 25%
Yeah.
on the year, and like that's the whole move. And
Mhm. Which is funny, which is the move, right? Like if you
yeah,
think about like how that all worked out by doing nothing, you
yeah,
know?
like so many people are like out trading Like there's so many people that are literally just sitting on Robinhood or sitting on insert whatever like centralized exchange Coinbase that are
Yeah.
out trading you because they just left their fucking XRP or their fucking Solana or whatever in fucking a yield.
Real buy and hold, the
Yeah,
ultimate strategy.
buy and hold.
Buy and hold.
Like, just do it. But
So-
I think we're pretty close to a wrapping point. I think we do like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but before we do go, we mentioned the DeFi for Dummies space, and unfortunately, that's one that I have not come across yet. But it does sound like one that I would like to be a part of and listen to. So when do you guys do that?
So for DeFi for Dummies, we like try to be super accommodating to the people that we're interviewing. So we usually just it's whenever the founders of these protocols have time, right? And I try my best to like launch out like a reminders of when we're gonna do the next one. So like I think our next one is tomorrow night. We're gonna do Hybrid Finance, which is like I think it's like a liquidity pool protocol that actually people are farming currently, and they're really good. And the founder is also, or one of the team members is the founder of Hype House, which is an NFT project.
Yeah,
But
that's the chows on Hyperliquid. For
yeah,
anybody who
yeah,
doesn't know.
yeah, yeah,
Yes. I love those things.
yeah. And so, and then like the next one after that, I think is next week, uh, which is I don't remember who it is to be honest. Um, uh, Spacing on the top of my head, but yeah, we have like pretty much one a week is what our goal was, unless someone is like, oh crap, I need to maneuver and obviously do it like the same week kind of thing,
Yeah.
right?
Like I don't know if you saw Empress's tweet last week. It was like, fuck it, we pivot. That was me talking about everybody talking about protocols last week. Because I said the same thing. I was like, it's so hard to get guests on.
Yeah. So like, yeah, when it comes to like that kind of thing, like right now, especially like these last 2 weeks have been tough just because of like everybody's in Singapore doing like meeting Jeff, who's the founder of Hyperliquid. But we think like before everybody went, we did like 3 in 1 week. So it was pretty nuts. But hopefully that answered your question. I might have just rambled.
Yeah. So one tomorrow and one next week for DeFi for Dummies.
Yeah. Mhm. And then yeah, and then I have a couple other ones that I'm like already in the works of like talking to. Oh, I know who next week is. It's Demi with local only.
Oh, locals only. Okay. I do
Yeah,
not know
yeah,
anything
yeah.
about that. I see that set all the time, but I have no idea what their project's about.
Yeah, it's a art project, like a NFT art project. And he's doing some other stuff in the background that we're gonna try to pick his brain with. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'll
then I
take
don't
a
remember what
look.
the next week is. Obviously, that's pretty far.
Yeah, just 2 more weeks.
Two
Yeah.
more weeks. That's all it takes every single time. 2 weeks, and then you'll get
Yeah.
exactly what you're looking for.
What's that? That's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminal, right? It's the 2 weeks. Nobody's ever seen that.
Yeah, is
I
that
just
some,
aged
I
myself.
don't remember if that's from that movie. I've seen
Yeah.
that movie. We're the same age, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll have to send you the meme where he like has like the old lady's head on his head and he gets broken. It says 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Wait, we need
The whole
to find that.
We need that
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah, we actually
Yeah.
need that. So,
It's actually pretty funny.
because we say that all the time. We always say everything will be just 2 weeks away, no matter what it
Yeah,
is.
that's a good meme. That's a good meme to grab. You'll have to just say like just put in 2 weeks and you probably will see it immediately.
But yeah,
So anything else?
yeah, I think we
No,
can wrap it.
Yeah, if before we go, is there anything else you wanted to promote, Shill, before we close out here, Groot?
No, I mean, like, I'd love for you, everybody, to obviously join the community. DeFi for Dummies, that's on my page. Just if you guys are interested in just like the educational spot, definitely give Empress and Beef.hype a follow as well, because they're full of alpha when it comes to like just the Hyperliquid community itself. So definitely check that out. If you ever want to just kick it and chill, we do like a tiny hyper chat on Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I live in California, so everything's in Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, and then we also have like a community NFT community space every Tuesday at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to get introduced to any like NFT communities, like with founders and whatnot, like hop on the space and kick it with us.
Yeah, and that's mostly ADH and
Mhm.
THC and somebody else. I can't
It's
remember.
Yeah, it's cat ball,
Yeah.
ADHD or hyperactives, THC, which would be me, and then Hype House. And then we also have Demi that is going to be joining us hopefully consistently. Vegas, which is like a gambling protocol, which is going to be joining us as well. And then I think two more have reached out to us to see if they can hop on as well.
Nice.
It's a lot on the plate.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
big
I mean,
that's a big
like,
space.
yeah.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, that's the thing is it's literally the spaces are kind of like what we're doing right now, right? Like it's just this for hours on end. Like
Yeah,
I
with
also
a shit ton
highly
of people.
recommend giving. Yeah, like I highly recommend just following Empress herself because she hops on spaces all the time. And so like I think right now she's on one, but like later tonight there'll just be like an open forum just talking about random crap tonight. So definitely hop in and give her a shout out.
Yeah, probably go crack open
I
a
I,
beer and
I
come
think
back.
I will come in to that one tonight
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I think it's Chroma who normally who
My
normally
favorite hyperliquid.
yeah. Yeah, he normally posts it up or starts it. But right now, like I said, Rubify is going on. So if you guys are interested in like some of the protocols, jump in. And I'm pretty sure as soon as that one closes, they're going to open up a new one.
Nice. Well, Groot,
Yeah,
thank you so much for joining us tonight in the Rat Hole. We really appreciate you coming
my
on.
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And for everybody listening at home, wherever you may be in the world, have a good day, have a good night. Cheese to have you here as always, and we will see you next time.
See you next time.